Hi, this is Margo. This is Saturday, June 16th, 2018. And today we're going to be talking about Siberia and the different temperatures across Siberia and why it's important to understand how it's heating up. And I've done a little bit of research here. And this is, first of all, Wikipedia. And this is showing Russia and Siberia. This is all Siberia. It's very, very large. Northern Asia, and takes up the northern part of Russia. Here's Novaya Zemlya up at the top here. Here's the Laptev Sea here. So here's some pictures. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, as I'm studying it, I'm just falling in love with the terrain and the landscape. And here's the big volcano that they have. There is an area that is very lots of volcanoes. Koryazky volcano. It's on the Kamchatka Peninsula. Isn't that something? Because I had a comment, what got me started on this was one of my YouTube listeners asked, in my last video I was showing from Climate Reanalyzer how warm it was in Siberia, that it was up to 30 degrees Celsius, and I was kind of like freaking out and saying that's way too hot, especially for this time of year. And so her comment was, what's the average temperature for this time of year in Siberia? And you know, that was a really good question, and I just, frankly, I didn't know. So I thought, well, let's find out. So this Wikipedia page talking about Siberia, this is the climate data for Novosibirsk, which is Siberia's largest city, and it's actually in the southern area of Russia, so it's going to be warmer than the northern areas. And its average high during June is 24 degrees Celsius. The warming period, it starts in May, and then it goes June, July, August, and it starts going back cold starting in September, and then they have their winter where it gets really, really cold. The warmest month of the year is July, and their average high in July is 25.7 degrees Celsius or 78.3 degrees Fahrenheit. The daily mean temperature in June is 18.2 degrees Celsius or 64.8 degrees Fahrenheit, and the daily mean in July is 20.2 degrees Celsius and 68.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's quite a bit less than what we saw, and plus what we saw on Climate Reanalyzer, and I happen to have it up here. We were looking at this area, the northern area of Siberia, where it's that red color, and the area that city is in, that we just talked about, is down here. It's in the southern part. I'll show you. I'll get that page. I think it's, no, I'm going to show you melting sea ice too in a minute. I'll show you exactly where that city is located. Oh, I'm sorry. I had the link right down here on the chart. It's located down here in the southern part of Russia. So the area we're looking at with those much higher than normal temperatures is up here in the northern part. Now, from what I understand, it depends on the area that you're in as to, you know, what your average temperatures are. Here's another website, and I'll leave all the links below. This is Climates to Travel World Climate Guide. And here's Russia. Here's your map. It says the average temperature in January is almost everywhere lower than minus 10 degrees Celsius or 14 degrees Fahrenheit, and goes down to minus 45 degrees Celsius or minus 49 degrees Fahrenheit in inland eastern areas. July average is around freezing, 0 Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit in the northern islands and along the Arctic coast, while it goes up to 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit in the southernmost areas. So that's typical in July, for it to be around 0 then up on the coast. Around 0. I don't know why it's doing that. Up on the coast here, and then about 20 degrees Celsius as you go south. So that's kind of the average. And here it divides it into certain areas and talks about the different temperatures, and they outline it by month here. So if anyone's interested, I will leave a link to all of these websites that I'm showing, and you can do your own exploration and research. Now here's this area of Siberia. This called the pole of cold. As you go further east, it gets colder. It's warmer on the west and colder on the east, from what I read, and it's surrounded by mountain ranges. So Jakun, I don't know if that's how you say it. Jakun is the coldest city. It's at 2,400 feet above sea level. The average temperature in January is minus 46 degrees Celsius and minus 51 degrees Fahrenheit. And in July, it only reaches 13 degrees Celsius or 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And so there's Jakun, there's June, July, minimum, maximum. And there's precipitation, and here's your sun hours. See, in January you only gets like 1 hour of sun, so because it's, you know, it's tilted away from the sun. December they get no sun, so it's like dark for a whole month. How would you like that? November you get 2 hours of sun every day. You get 1 hour of sun in January, 4 hours in February. This is every day. 8 in March, 9 in April, 9 in May, 10. Most you get is 10 hours in June and 10 hours in July. And then it starts going back down in August. So that's pretty rugged. And now here's the Arctic and subarctic climate. So this is on the coastline, and so it's going to be colder up there, And up here, it should be around 0 in June, and maximum around 7 degrees Celsius in June, or 30 Fahrenheit scale is 32 degrees, so right around freezing, and maximum maybe up to 45 degrees. That's in June. And then July, it's 3 degrees Celsius minimum and 11 degrees maximum in July. So that's 37 degrees Fahrenheit up to 52 degrees. And the sea ice does melt in the summertime. It does melt, but what they're worried about is melting more and more every summer and shrinking, and then it's not refreezing as much, and it's getting a lot thinner. Here's the southern part of Siberia and Russia, and here are the average temperatures. See, it's even warmer in June. 11 degrees Celsius in June. That would be 52 degrees Fahrenheit minimum. Maximum 22 degrees in June and 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can see from the climate reanalyzer that these temperatures are quite a bit warmer. And it might not be exactly 30 degrees C. It might be more like 20, 28 or 27. You know, I can't tell. But it's definitely warmer. And you can see over the pole, it's above freezing. Because blue is at freezing. This is Celsius over on the right. And it's almost all like this light green. And then you get the darker green. So we do expect some melting in the summertime. Now, how much melting should we expect? And I looked that up for you. And this is from NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmosphere Administration, climate.gov. And this is 27 Arctic sea ice minimum, comes in at 8th smallest on record. And this is from September 21st of 2017. And then, so they're showing you, this is a satellite image starting in May, and I can't stop this. I don't think but we can go to full screen. This is very interesting. Let's go to full screen. You can really see it. And it's like every second it goes to the next month, and then it starts over. And down here is your sea ice concentration, where it's totally white, that's 100%. And where it's kind of bluish, that's 15%, and then it's everything in between. So you can see, here's Greenland, here's Canada down here, here's Alaska, here's Siberia and Russia that goes all the way around, and here's Novaya Zemlya, and here's some more little islands up there. And you can see in September where it was the lowest. See, it didn't even look very solid right at the North Pole. And that was last year. And then this year, from what I've read, it didn't go back out as far when it refroze. And so we had less sea ice to even start with on this year's melt season. And this, the lines out here is what it used to be generally up until I can't remember, up until around 2009 or something like that. Let's see what they say. Yeah, 2009. I think. They're saying that cyclones can break up the sea ice and make it melt faster and things like that. 2012 had the lowest Arctic minimum extent on record. And we almost had the lowest on record last year. So it went way down in 2012. So I'll leave the link below to this and you can explore it and kind of compare and see where we're at. And so you can see, like last year, like where we're looking Novaya Zemlya in July, by July, see it was just an island, like it was all melted around in July and August and September. See, it had gone way down, and the whole seacoast had lost its ice cover. The whole seacoast. There was no ice on any of the seacoasts down here. The only ice that was left was up here in Canada, and it looks like a little bit in Greenland. And it melted around the southern part of Greenland. So it really melted a lot. So we're going to be watching this real close this year to see how fast this melting progresses. So that's really all I have to show you today, unless you want to look at Climate Reanalyzer. But I mainly wanted to go over those temperatures in Siberia. You can also look at temperature anomaly, and that's what I was looking at to see. I mean, this tells it all on Climate Reanalyzer, that this is so far above normal. This is like about 20 C above normal. See? Here it is on the global view. And there's a lot of stuff going on with the Antarctic. They're saying that the Antarctic is melting very, very fast. We lost, I can't remember how many trillions of tons of water, of ice down there, and you can see that's way warmer than it should be too. So I encourage people to do their own research, look at everything, and get involved and understand what's going on, and you'll be better prepared as things progress. You can see all these brown areas, it's warmer too than it should be normally. And you can look at the scale and figure it out. And red is hotter than brown, etc. And then here's our snow and sea ice cover as of today. And you can see that it's melted more since my last show a few days ago. And see, it's almost all the way melted around Greenland. So we could be ahead of where we were this time last year. It's just hard to really tell. And we still have some sea ice along the coast of Siberia up here, or northern Asia, and right along the coast of Alaska and in Canada, and along here. But see, it's all melted up around Norway and this whole southern edge of Novaya Zemlya. That's all melted. It's melted along this Bering Strait and so forth. And now you can get the world view here where it's spread out. And you can see it's not as solid down here in the Antarctic. So things are heating up pretty fast. And I'm doing some research for a pretty dynamite couple of shows. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's going to be a surprise. So just know I'm working on a very, very, very special topic that I'm digging deep into, and it's my theory of why the Arctic is warming twice as fast as the rest of the world. I have a theory about it. So until next time, my name's Margo. My website is margoshealingcorner.com. I'm a hypnotist, holistic life coach, empathic spiritual healer. Until next time, take care, God bless, go in peace, goodbye.